In the heart of a medieval English town, a man named Joseph stood accused of betraying his wife, Mary. It was a chilly morning, and a crowd had gathered around the market square, their breath forming small clouds in the cold air. Joseph, a simple carpenter, trembled as he faced the accusations. His face was pale, and his hands shook uncontrollably. The town's elders, dressed in their finest robes, looked down at him with stern expressions. The townspeople murmured, their voices a mix of curiosity and judgment. Joseph had been accused of impotence, a serious charge in a world where a man's ability to father children was a matter of honor and duty. The town's priest, a solemn figure with a long beard, stepped forward and began the trial. He asked Joseph if he had failed to perform his marital duties. Joseph, feeling the weight of the town's gaze, struggled to find the right words. He explained that he had indeed found Mary pregnant, but he believed it was a miracle, a sign from God. The crowd gasped. Miracles were rare, and the idea that a virgin could conceive without a man's touch was almost too much to believe. Some whispered that Joseph must be mad, while others wondered if he was trying to protect Mary from the harsh penalties of adultery. The priest, however, was unmoved. He demanded proof of Joseph's claim. Joseph, feeling desperate, turned to the crowd and pleaded for understanding. He spoke of his love for Mary and his faith in God's plan. The trial was a public spectacle, and the tension was palpable. Joseph's fate hung in the balance, and the town's judgment would decide his future. As the priest continued to question him, Joseph's story began to unravel a larger narrative one that intertwined with the town's own fears, beliefs, and conflicts. In the medieval world, the lines between the sacred and the profane were often blurred. Joseph's trial was not just about his personal honor. It was a reflection of the town's struggles with faith, tradition, and the unknown. The townspeople, bound by their shared history and beliefs, were forced to confront the possibility that their understanding of the world might be challenged by a simple carpenter's extraordinary claim. As the trial progressed, the crowd's murmurs grew louder. Some supported Joseph, seeing in his story a glimmer of hope and a reminder of the miracles that were still possible. Others were skeptical, believing that Joseph's tale was nothing more than a desperate lie. The town's leaders, caught between their duty to uphold the law and their own doubts, found themselves in a difficult position. Joseph's story, however, was just the beginning. The town's Corpus Christi play, a grand religious drama performed every year, was set to begin soon. The play, which told the story of the Bible from the creation to the Last Judgment, was a central part of the town's life. It was a time when the entire community came together to celebrate their faith and reenact the most important moments in their shared history. The play's performance was not just a religious event. It was a living, breathing symbol of the town's identity. The characters in the play, played by the townspeople themselves, brought to life the stories that had been passed down through generations. The performance spaces, from the town square to the wagon stages that moved through the streets, transformed the town into a stage where the past and the present intertwined. Joseph's trial and the Corpus Christi play were two sides of the same coin, each reflecting the town's deep-seated beliefs and the challenges they faced. As the play began, the crowd's attention shifted from Joseph's trial to the grand spectacle unfolding before them. The story of the creation, the fall of man, and the eventual redemption through Christ's sacrifice were brought to life in vivid detail. The actors, dressed in elaborate costumes and masks, moved through the town, their performances drawing the audience into a world of myth and miracle. Joseph, who was eventually found not guilty, watched the play with a mix of relief and wonder. He had been given a second chance, and he knew that his story would be remembered as a part of the town's rich tapestry of faith and tradition. The Corpus Christi play, with its blend of religious fervor and community spirit, was a reminder that even in the face of doubt and conflict, the town's shared beliefs could bring them together. But the play also raised questions about the nature of time and the way the past influences the present. The town's history, with its mix of triumphs and tragedies, was a living legacy that shaped the lives of its people. The play's performance, a ritual that had been repeated for centuries, was a way for the town to connect with its roots and find meaning in a world that was often uncertain and unpredictable. As the play reached its climax, the audience was transported to a world of divine intervention and human struggle. The characters' journeys, from Adam and Eve to Joseph and Mary, were a reflection of the town's own journey. The play's final scenes, with their messages of hope and redemption, left the audience with a sense of renewal and purpose. In the medieval town, the boundaries between the past and the present, the sacred and the profane, were constantly shifting. Joseph's trial and the Corpus Christi play were just two of the many stories that made up the town's rich and complex history. As the play ended and the crowd dispersed, the townspeople returned to their daily lives, carrying with them the lessons and the memories of the performances they had witnessed. The town, with its blend of tradition and change, was a place where the past and the present were always in dialogue. Joseph's story and the Corpus Christi play were reminders that even in a world filled with uncertainty, the power of faith and community could overcome the challenges of the unknown.